Hello there.
General Kenobi.
It cracks me up every time. Welcome to episode 2 of Aggressive Negotiations. I cannot talk tonight, so this is going to be interesting. Before we start, I want to let you know that this episode is brought to you today. It's brought to you today. Sorry, there was an echo because I have something opened on a screen. Anyways, this episode is brought to you today by Jacob Crawford and their first book, The Shadows. But we will talk about that a little bit later. Matt, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. How has your week? I guess it's been a little more than a week because their first episode was on May the 4th. It's now the 13th. We didn't feel like doubling up because that would have been fantastic. How have you been since the last time we sat down to chat?
For the most part, all right. It's been a crunch at work, but...
That's unfortunate.
It
is hotter than the surface of Mustafar in here, and I kind of want to take my pants off. It is brutal in here, I'm not gonna lie.
For sound quality reasons, we shut the window.
Oh my god, there's children screaming outside. It's great.
Yeah, soccer practice.
It is crazy hot in here. I feel like Anakin.
Yeah.
Except my seat's higher than yours, so I technically have the high ground today.
Yeah, but I'm taller.
Yeah, so you've always got the high ground. Anyway, in case you couldn't tell, it's been kind of a slow week since May the 4th. Which is
not
why
a lot
not a lot to talk about. I have a few things that we're going to chat about, but for the most part, oh no, it's been pretty quiet. Have you read anything this week?
I haven't.
Me neither.
No time.
I finished, since I read Queen Shadow, I haven't read anything. Just the couple of comics we were looking at, and I didn't read the new Dr. Aphra. I think I need to catch up on it.
Yeah.
You should catch up on it. I think you'd really like it.
Well, probably.
It's
just bad at reading.
Don't put that out there on the internet.
Well, I mean, I'm bad at sitting down at reading. I'm good at reading. But I just got no time for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Audiobooks is the way I can do things.
You can't really audiobook a comic, though.
No, not really.
Did you play any games?
Slime Rancher.
That's fun. Oh, yeah, you were playing Slime Rancher. Addicted?
Quite.
Awesome.
It's really a pleasant game.
It is. It's a pretty cute. I really like it. I should play it. But I have no time for anything. Well, we are 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
So let's kind of give a chat real quick about the few news items that I managed to scrape together.
Yeah.
From that hive of scum and villainy that we call the internet. Ready to go?
Number one on the docket?
Number one on the docket. Yesterday was, I can't pronounce his name, Domhnall Gleeson, who plays General Hux. I can't pronounce his name. I hope I did that right. It was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, General Hux.
Happy birthday.
That was yesterday, on Mother's Day. It's an unfortunate birthday. I could tell you everybody else's birthday it was, too. There was only one Star Wars guy, but there was a bunch of birthdays yesterday. It was funny. Just in between the Happy Mother's Day, happy birthday. So happy birthday to General Hux. Thank you for your service, I guess. In the service of the Empire, which we don't talk about or whatever. Anyway, the other thing that I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
So we all know about the Galaxy's Edge theme park. I want to go.
I definitely want to go.
I want to go basically eat Star Wars food.
That would be awesome.
I just really want to go to the cantina. I don't do rides. So
I'm
for
hungry
me,
now.
It's not. Should we go?
Well, it's a little bit more than walking distance.
I guess it's also not open yet.
That too.
But this so Galaxy's Edge theme park, the reservations opened on May 2nd for the first set of however many weeks it was. The reservations opened on May 2nd. The park opens on May 31st, and the Florida one opens in August, or the California one? I forget. I think it's the Florida one opens at the end of August. But the main one opens on May 31st. And so they had, like, from May 31st till June 21st or something like that, they had opened reservations for the first few weeks. They opened on May 2nd, and they sold out in 2 hours.
Not surprised.
2 hours. So I guess we can't go unless you secretly are surprising me with birthday tickets.
No, I'm sorry.
Ruined my fun. So yeah, 2 hours. And basically, what it was you book like 4 hours of time in this theme park. You get your tickets because you're going, or you've made a reservation in the hotel because you're going to the theme park anyway, and you get to book a 4-hour jaunt. It's basically the same as the Fast Pass. So you get those 4 hours, you get priority or whatever, and all of those reservations sold out in 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a popular place. I don't even know where it is, like California?
I think so. I think it's at one of the Disney parks. And then they're opening one in the Florida side, or vice versa. I can't remember. U.S. geography. We're not in the States, and U.S. geography completely escapes me. Not gonna lie, we live in Canada. It's hot in here, and I don't like it, and it makes my brain numb.
It's just too many states.
There's too many states, and it's too hot in this stupid apartment.
Yeah.
In this studio. It's way too hot. Anyway, I hope that that horn totally picked up on the feed.
That would be pretty great.
Anyway, moving on. I've got a whole bunch more Galaxy's Edge stuff to chat about. It's totally like all Galaxy's Edge stuff all the time. So, Galaxy's Edge got famous visitors. Did you see this online?
Yeah.
Robert Iger hosted Steven Spielberg. So Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney?
Yeah.
Or something like that? I don't remember. Top brass. Yeah, so he hosted Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, and Kathleen Kennedy. They got to tour the facilities. And, like, again, nothing is open, and they've only got, like, the one ride so far. But they got to tour the facilities.
I think that would have been a pretty great experience for everyone.
How jealous are you?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Probably like 500.
That's a lot of jealousy.
Yeah.
Where do you store it all? You're so little.
My feet.
Oh, okay. 500 jealousy, though?
Yeah, it keeps me grounded.
Use that anger, Anakin.
No, anger's in the ankles. It's lighter than jealousy.
It layers. And then, so what's the fluffy... Never mind. I was going to make a food joke. Like, what's your fluffy whipped cream topping on this parfait of negative emotions?
I couldn't even tell you.
I mean, where does fear happen?
Oh, right at the genitals.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like right all up in your butt? I was going to just assume your butt.
No.
The genitals?
Yep.
Oh, okay. But you cause fear from your butt.
I couldn't tell you.
You were like the worst. You are not playing off my banter today. Go to your room. Get out. I will do this podcast by myself. Leave. Be gone.
Have fun with the lightsabers.
I can read notes.
Can you?
I can open Wikipedia.
I made the notes. And
Can I read
Wikipedia
them?
was...
I mean, I can read your writing.
Yeah, my writing's not illegible, but...
Although, is this a U?
Yeah.
Is that a U or an N?
That's an N.
They look exactly the same.
They're very different.
They look exactly...
One is basically the other, but upside down.
Oh, God. It's been a long week, and it's only Monday. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, just so we're aware, and you missed... you missed the terrible Yoda jokes beforehand. So, speaking of Galaxy's Edge, the first ride is Smuggler's Run, where you can sit in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. That sounds cool. from what I understand, there's like a little audio drama thing that you go through, and it goes and like moves a bit, like those 3D.
I would enjoy that.
From what I understand, I don't know if it's accurate, but from what I understand, it's like one of those 3D roller coaster things that sometimes they have at like the comic expos, where you like sit in the thing and it's a big...
Where it's all actuated via pistons and...
Yeah, and then but it's got
science.
like the screen and you get to sit in the cockpit and touch buttons.
So you're not moving, but it feels like it.
Well, you're moving a little bit.
Well, you're moving up and down and sideways and stuff, but not forward in time or anything.
Exactly. So you get to sit in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. This sounds really cool. On Friday, YouTube channel Star Wars Kids put out their newest video in their series Star Wars by the Numbers.
Yeah.
In this episode, it counted the buttons pushed and switches flipped in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon across all of the current films. That is like the most tedious task on the planet. That is some like hardcore dedication that I don't have the energy for.
I wouldn't do it.
No? Do you want to hazard a guess?
No,
about
I don't.
how many buttons and switches were flipped?
It's too many.
Do you want to guess?
4,362.
Well, you're way over. But maybe like the
half that. Exactly.
Exactly half. 2,000, what did you say?
I don't know. I can't remember that far back.
4,362, so 187. 2,187.
Yeah.
You make me do math for a stupid reason.
I know.
I did that in my head, and math is not my favorite subject. No, you're wrong.
Okay.
You're fired.
So
the total, the actual total, though, was 355. Most of those flips came during... those flips and buttons came in Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
You sound like you do not give a shit.
I'm just like...
You don't give a bantha poodoo.
I'm just trying to think of... Is that like on-screen video recorded?
Yes, I believe so.
And how many times were the...
Watch the video.
Were they just pressing buttons, but not actually on screen because it's not in frame?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Sorry, that's where my brain was going. I'm very interested. In fact, I'm too interested.
You are far too interested in that. You're ridiculous. You're so boring. I love you. I love doing this show with you. Yeah. It's fantastic.
I've got so much more to ask.
Like what?
I mean, in general.
Oh, in general. So while we're still on the topic of Galaxy's Edge, and I know this is like old news, I'm so sorry. It's been a really super slow news week. John Williams composed a brand new song specifically for Galaxy's Edge. We listened to it last night. You can find it on iTunes or, what was it? DisneyMusic.com?
No, it was...
StarWars.com? You sent me the link.
I sent a link.
Let me find the link.
It's in there.
It's your butt. According to the chat. DisneyMusic.com/do not play. We'll just open the link. DisneyMusic.co/Galaxy's Edge. There we go.
And the song is available on iTunes and Spotify and the whole gambit of...
No, it runs like a mutt, not gambit.
Oh. I wouldn't know.
That's fine. I'm an English major. Anyway, it's really fantastic if you go listen to it. You can listen to a snippet on there, or you can go find it on iTunes. It's really... I really like it. I can't play it on here, but I really want to.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get a copyright strike. But it was really good. Anyway,
it captures the Star Wars. It captures the high energy of an amusement park that people are going to enjoy, and it works.
It's very like, and I hate to use this word, but it's very epic.
kind of.
It's a really very epic song. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm just admiring the the icons here on the screen, and I'm just like gonna hang on a sec. Boop. Okay. I
booped Kit Fisto.
Yeah, booped his nose.
Right on the snoot.
Right on the snoot. So, yeah, so did I show you the shopharveys.com last night?
You mentioned it.
Okay, so shopharveys.com makes seatbelt bags. They have a license with Disney, and so they had a whole bunch of like Disney princess stuff. They had one that was like shaped like Sebastian the Crab, and there was a zipper for his mouth, and it was nightmare fuel.
Uh-huh.
But these are all made out of basically seatbelts. All of these bags, they're kind of cool. They just launched their Star Wars line. So there's a C-3PO one, which is cool. It's got like his stomach, so it's gold and shiny, and then it's got like his little wires, wire guts there on the 3PO is like body horror waiting to happen. His guts are just there. Oh,
that's what it means to be a robot.
Oh, I grossed myself out. How did I not notice that till I was looking at this bag?
Also, it's not really his guts. That's just him. He's just wearing armor.
It's no skin. He's
like
naked.
you saw the real C-3PO
I grossed myself
in
out.
the prequels.
No, that was when he was naked. His parts were showing. Is he just wearing like a midriff? Is that what it is? He's just wearing like a midriff bearing shirt.
He just put clothes on.
Okay, it was
his parts like aren't showing. Like it's not his guts. It's just him. You're making a face.
I know I'm making a face. It's still kind of. Okay. Anyways, so shopharveys.com. They are based out of. Did I say California? They're based out of the States. I think it was California. Yeah, it had to be in California because it's the most California thing I've ever seen.
It's very California.
Jesus, it's hot in here.
We're feeling California.
Oh, just put some sand on the floor and call it fucking Tatooine in here. It's terrible. Anyway.
Oh, man.
The things we do for you guys.
By the end of this.
I'm going to be taking my pants off in a minute here. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I will. The
women, the children, they'll...
Are you going to just murder all the sand people?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Because it's too hot.
Why are you made of hatred and
I don't
anger?
I can't answer that.
Your jealousy is in your feet. Are you going to murder people with your feet?
That's called kicking.
Okay. You guys missed the horrible Yoda jokes. We're not going there. We're losing our train. Our train is derailing, and I apologize. We've lost it. Anyway. Oh boy.
Oh, any more news?
Anyway, no, I was talking about shopharveys.com. They just launched a Star Wars line. So they have R2-D2, C-3PO, a bag that looks like Chewbacca with his bandolier. My favorite one was the comic strips one, and it really lends itself to it. Even their press release says it really lends itself to the comic strip format across the bags or across the seat belts. So they've got like rows of comic panels. It's really cool. And then they've got a Darth Vader one. It's like shaped like his face, made out of these sewn together seat belts. It's all animal friendly. So like vegan. So no leather. It's all this stuff. And there were some pins and t-shirts that were also included in this line that are not made out of seatbelts, but just some like cool enamel pins and some t-shirts. You can check it out on shopharveys.com. Unfortunately, the entire line is completely sold out.
Well, they'll probably restock at some point, so keep your eyes open.
I'm sure they will, but you can go check out you can check out their prices on the products, and they look really cool. They're a little more expensive than I'm willing to pay for a bag, but they're really awesome. So, I mean, maybe by Christmas they'll have a restock, and I can ask somebody who likes me just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I don't have anybody who loves me very much here, okay? Like, I can't be the Han Solo, Princess Leia dynamic. We don't have that. I wish you would die some days. So, oh, God. Now he's making a face.
You may as well just call me a nerf herder now.
I like how you think you're Han Solo in this relationship.
Wait, I'm Princess Leia?
Oh, no. You're definitely not Princess Leia.
So I'm neither. Okay.
I was gonna make a...
I'm the space between.
Whoa.
Fully
I
charged.
was just gonna make, like a Wookiee joke about you being my sidekick. But,
Okay.
that got creepy real fast.
Apparently.
It's way too hot in here for this.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Anyway, shopharveys.com for...
They aren't sponsoring us, so...
They're not sponsoring us. I just want to put the word out that they're making cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, one more thing before we take a break to get back to our sponsor, our actual sponsor. The Phantom Menace is 20... The anniversary is coming up like on the 24th of May. I don't think we're doing a podcast.
We didn't write down the number.
No. 20, because it came out
Gotta
in
be 20,
1999.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm dumb. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, did a bunch of fan art forever ago. And obviously 20 years ago, right before the movie came out, and it resurfaced the other day. And it was adorable. He drew a little picture of Anakin and some like stuff in the background, some space stuff, and it was adorable. And it had resurfaced. People dug it up because you know how the internet doesn't like to let anything go. And it was really, really cute.
Yeah.
And he went on record saying, he's like, I don't really care about Anakin, but all the mechs and everything look great. I don't really care about any of these... How did he word it? It was, I don't really care about any of these characters. I'm only here for Ewan McGregor. And let's be real here, same. I was 13. I was a huge Dragon Ball fan at 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was 13 when that movie came out. And I was like the perfect target demographic. And I had the biggest crush on Ewan McGregor. So it was like, hey. Hey, it's Star Wars. It's Ewan McGregor. And my favorite creator... didn't give a crap about Anakin or anything, but he liked the way the mechs looked, but he drew a cute picture. So there we go. Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball Z.
Robots.
He liked robots. That was awesome. All right.
Time for our sponsor.
We're going to talk a minute about our sponsor. If you click down below, if you are watching us live on Twitch, or if you are on YouTube, head over to our Twitch channel on twitch.tv/oncomicsground. And if you're watching live, just click underneath. You can see there is a link that tells us who our, there's a panel that says who our sponsor is, and today it is Jacob Crawford. Jacob Crawford is a YA writer out of Las Vegas, and they have sponsored our episode tonight with their current book, The Shadows, Dark Sentinels, Book 1. It is available on Amazon. If you click the page with the little banner down there, you'll get taken directly to the Amazon link. The synopsis sounds fantastic. After a traumatic year, 16-year-old Roz is excited to move to Las Vegas, longing for a fresh start. Instead, she gets ghosts. With the help of her cousin, neighbor, and a pair of amateur paranormal investigators, Roz sets out to take on the specters herself. But the supernatural activity plaguing her only increases, and with it comes terrifying threats and shocking revelation. Worlds beyond ours, her mysterious powers, and beings that will kill her for them. Determined to stop the shadows from overtaking her world, Roz and her friends will put a stop to the looming darkness, or die trying. This is book 1 in a YA sci-fi series. It's now available on Amazon. If you click that image below, you can get taken directly to the page, grab a copy, leave a review, let us know what you think. Also, want to talk a minute about our other podcasts. We are launching a brand new one with On Comics Ground Fridays. It is actually launching this Friday, the 18th? 17th? This Friday.
17th.
17th. Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. What history has gone unnoticed? What changes have been made to the comics industry because of political interference? What seedy underbelly lurks forgotten to seduce and entice those who are less wary? Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, join your hosts Mary and me as we uncover the hidden truths that the comics industry hopes you'd have forgotten. It's called Seduction of the Innocent, a Politics in Comics podcast. I hope you guys will join us. That sounds fantastic. And if you haven't gotten enough of us yet, go check oncomicsground.com. There is a hyphen between On Comics and Ground. That is where you can find all of our news, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff, and, just generally keep up with the world of comics. Also, if you follow us over on Twitter, that would be great. You'll never miss anything when it comes to all of our notifications. All right, I think that is enough of that. Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
And let's get to the meat of the issue, or the meat of the episode here. Lightsaber fighting is weird.
Kind of is.
So...
Probably why I like it.
Uh-huh. So Matt's gonna give us a crash course here in 20 minutes or less. Well, you've got half an hour. It's 6:30.
Wow.
We haven't had dinner yet, so we're starving. Anyway, also, lightsaber fighting is weird. That's what we're talking about tonight. So let's just get right into it. So, first off, how many lightsaber styles are there? You were telling me this yesterday, and I don't remember anything.
All right, well...
I know that there's, different styles, because they all look different.
Within the Jedi Order, there are 7 lightsaber styles. And then there's a few kind of Sith stuff, but it's not really well documented.
Oh my god. Okay, wait, so well documented?
Well, the Sith don't really like writing things down.
Okay, but where is this well documented? Because it wasn't in the movies and it wasn't in the show.
In comic books and other media, like the books. But yes, I'm getting most of my information off of Wikipedia, or mostly a lot of my confirmations of my basic observations of.
Now wait, do you mean show. Wikipedia or Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. Yes, that one.
All right, Mr. Academic. He's got his notes. It's really, really fantastic.
I studied up for this. I really enjoyed reading about lightsaber styles.
Just to, further confirm how much of the stuff you already knew.
Kind of,
because you're a giant nerd.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you're, 6.5 feet tall. So...
I guess I am kind of giant.
You're giant. I'm tiny. I'm little. All right. So there's 7. Which one's your favorite?
My favorite? Oh, it would probably be Makashi.
Makashi. What number is that?
That is the second form.
All right.
It is a form specifically designed for dueling. And it's what Dooku uses.
Dooku, because Dooku fights weird.
Yeah,
he looks like a fencer.
And that's how they basically made it, where it was kind of the, lack of a better term, the gentleman's way of fighting.
So, are you telling me that the Jedi used to have, fencing duels and would be like, hem hem, you have dishonored me, and then they would fence with their lightsabers? Yes. Did they burn each other? Because that's how fencing goes. It's a touch thing, right? If you get touched in a certain place, if you miss blocking with your little wibbly sword.
Only normally this type of thing was to the death rather than to the pain, unless it was specifically training.
Huh. So Jedi would straight up kill each other because...
a lot of it was used,
to settle disputes?
Yeah, and...
Okay, so wait, that seems really, really ineffective against, blasters and stuff.
Which is why Form 3 is specifically made to combat blasters.
So wait, hold on. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Are you telling me that lightsaber dueling has been around longer than having to fight against blasters?
Thousands and thousands of years, apparently.
How old are the Jedi?
just as old.
So, like, there's
Old
crusty
enough to
asshole
be
Jedi.
purged several times.
So Order 66 wasn't the first time it was purged.
No.
What's
That was an old trick that Palpatine pulled. It's been done before. But the most lightsaber fighting in history is during the Clone Wars. So that's a thing.
Because there's mostly the most Jedi in history
Yeah.
during the Clone Wars, so of course there would be the most lightsaber fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds fun. So, okay, wait. So how many? So there's 3 forms. We've touched on 3.
I
You
actually
didn't tell me
kind
about
of
the first
skipped Form 1, which is basically fencing, but not as formal, not as refined. It was basically
so just stick and poke.
Yeah, you have a thing that when it touches someone, it hurts them a lot. Try not to touch yourself with it. That's the style.
It's like stabby, stabby.
It was literally just stabby, and it was not used for very long.
So these first 2 forms existed for thousands of years, apparently, up until blasters came into play,
Yeah.
and then they developed a 3rd form. And you like the 2nd form that Dooku uses.
Yes.
So why does Dooku use the 2nd form?
Because
Like, why does he do that specific? I mean, okay. Before we start answering this, how much of it is speculation and how much of it is like, maybe it's because this is how Christopher Lee kind of fought, so they worked that around? Because didn't the man...
Maybe. I'm not going to go
fence?
into the meta of it because you could really dive into a lot of the meta with the fact that the props changed throughout the making of all of Star Wars, from their very conception of these 3-sided tubes that just had reflective tape on them that spun on the handle. So when they got picked up on camera, they'd flash. Yeah, they were literally spinning tubes, but they were very breakable. And
right, isn't there
not practical for
aren't there
fighting because
stories all over the internet of them breaking while they were practicing and doing stuff? Wasn't there
a great many of the props throughout the history of the making of these films broke often.
That'd be unfortunate if you're doing like the perfect take and then your lightsaber explodes in your hand. You're like, shit.
Yep.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so
there's meta to it, but we're gonna
try and avoid that a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
We're staying within the science fiction of it.
Okay, so another question, because I really like Count Dooku, and you know I really liked Christopher Lee. Before he passed away, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why his handle is so weird too? Like, everything about Dooku is weird. Like, he kind of showed up out of fucking nowhere. I probably shouldn't say fuck on this podcast, but I don't really care right now. Like, he's weird. He shows up out of nowhere, has this huge crazy backstory. He knows Obi-Wan, and they don't seem to like each other whatsoever.
Well, he used to be a Jedi.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so he's Jedi trained.
He used to be on the council. That's
Yeah.
how he knows how to do stuff. But I'm not that much of a casual. Why? Don't you start mansplaining to me.
I don't know, you're
Oh,
going
I've
in a
put that out.
direction.
I've put that out there.
I know.
Oh no, I've put that out there. But no, everything about Dooku is weird. Like, he just kind of shows up out of nowhere. He has a crazy long backstory. Everybody's like, "Oh, that asshole," and then he fights with this antiquated lightsaber style, and then his lightsaber looks kind of like the 13th Doctor's. It's got the weird curve. Yeah, it's got the weird curve to the handle, which kind of when I was 13, didn't think about it being used for naughty things aside from chopping people apart.
Yeah.
So is there a reason for the curved handle within the lore? Or is it just because everybody has a different handle style to what's comfortable for them?
Well, I didn't actually read anything on it, but my...
Are you going to speculate?
My speculation on it is because of the fact that using a fencing style, having a curved handle allows you better leverage while using your wrist.
Okay, so this brings me to my next question. Because, like, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Luke and Anakin even, they all look like they're fighting with a very heavy weapon. Like, just the way that most of them are swinging those damn things around, trying not to make the vroom vroom noises while they're being filmed.
Yeah.
But it looks like they are fighting with something heavy. And we know that they have props, and we know that the props have weight. But compared to the way Dooku just, like, swish, swish, they look like they, like, it's reminiscent of, like, Scottish style fighting, like what you see in any kind of gladiator movie with the big heavy bastard swords, just like chop, chop, chop really hard. Now, is that a style choice? Or is that...
It is a style choice, and it's actually more reminiscent of Japanese... This is straight from the wiki. I'm not just pulling this out my ass.
You're not pulling this out of your exhaust port?
Fighting with a katana, it starts with a lot of overhead chopping motions, because that's the way a katana works. It's a choppy.
That would be, I would argue that what's her name? Asuka?
Asuka.
No, Ahsoka. I always say it the Japanese way because I'm an idiot. She fights with the little one and the big one. That's Japanese. That's straight up katana wakizashi.
Technically,
because no, okay, the Wikipedia is wrong because they fight up here. Like, watch Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fighting. Katanas are down here.
I'm talking about General Jedi.
Okay. But I'm talking about those big, crazy chopping, like,
where
Obi-Wan,
if we want to get into specifics, like, we haven't even made it through to the other forms, which...
Because I'm leading this conversation all over the place instead of you just reading off a boring list of notes.
Well, and I'm not trying to read off my notes.
So don't argue.
But you're getting ahead of things.
You're getting ahead.
Because I haven't talked about the other forms, so I can't take and go there.
You could totally loop it around and be like, well, don't actually.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
So what I'm describing is this specific form, and it is number... Fuck you, Kai. It's not a number. It's you're fucking up my notes.
Form 5.
Form 5! Okay, what's 4 then? If 3 was invented and it's like rudimentary in stopping blasters, what's the difference between 3 and 4?
The difference between 3 and 4 is actually a difference between the speed or the attacks.
Do they all have dumb names too?
Of course they have dumb names. Form 3 is called Ataru, and Form 4 is called Shien. Form 3 is what Ahsoka uses, which is very fast, aggressive, and agile, which she's jumping out all over the place, and it's actually what Yoda uses often enough, because he's all jumpy all over the place. And the form doesn't necessarily dictate how many lightsabers or what type of lightsaber you have. It's just how you use them and how your movement with them is. Where Form 4 is a lot more like strength and heavy attacks, while being very aggressive.
So basically,
as well,
Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Anakin.
Where Obi-Wan, he's actually a master of Form 2.
Bullshit!
Did I get something wrong? I may have got
He
something
can't possibly be 2 because you just told me that Dooku uses 2.
Oh, shoot. I think I messed up in my notes. It was a long hour. I was going by the names instead of the numbers at some point.
So they do have dumb names. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me these dumb names. Form 1. Okay, just read off the names because they're dumb. I love
Form 1
them.
is Shicho.
That's like what I call my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
She Cho. Like literally. My little sister's name is Cho. For those of you who don't
Maybe
know.
I messed up where like Form 2 is in 2 different styles. Where Makashi is like Form 1 but more refined. And for dueling, and Form 2, Soresu is for defense against blasters.
So it would be Form 3 is defense against blasters. Because you just told me that Form 2 is for dueling.
I'm going to go with the names and not the numbers.
Oh my god.
Because, I don't know. Now I feel very dumb all of a sudden.
But
that's
why you don't
okay.
do research with caffeine. Or without caffeine.
Oh man, yeah, I did not have caffeine.
Do you want some?
No, I'm good.
For a minute?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Dooku
does use Makashi.
And that's the crazy fencing dueling one.
Yes.
And then Form 3 is the defense against blasters, but it's not refined. Does anybody still use that shit?
Well, Obi-Wan uses it. He's basically the best at it.
He's just like, I don't have time for this shit. And he just like learns to chop people.
He's really good at deflecting blaster fire away from him. You see it all the time.
Yeah, that's how he takes on Grievous.
Yeah.
Pew pew. And then he shoots him. Oh,
well,
is that
what
why
happens?
I mean, that makes the so uncivilized joke even funnier then.
A little bit.
That makes it really funny.
Oh, and on the Sith side of Form 3, developed about the same time is Dun Mok.
That is a dumb name. And that's an umlaut over the O, right?
Yeah. It's weird. And I only wrote that down because I know that General Grievous was a master of that among just about every other form as well.
So Grievous basically knows how to do everything. But with 4 robotic arms and lots of time, I figure you could learn all of that stuff anyway.
Yeah, Grievous was taught a lot, and the only reason he was as adept as he was because he had mechanical reflexes and strength.
So was Grievous a Jedi or something to start with before he turned into a robot?
Wasn't. That's a completely different path. Oh man, I read this a while ago, so I don't actually have his info readily on my brain. But no, he definitely wasn't a Jedi beforehand. He was just taught by Dooku.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next? So that was like 3. What's 4? Or what's next?
Gem. DGEM.
Well, no, that's 3. We didn't talk about that one.
Ataru, sorry. I misheard you.
And that's what Ahsoka uses.
Yeah, it's fast, agile, aggressive,
So it's basically 3, but better. And do they just keep getting better as they go, or do they change dramatically after 4?
After 4, they kind of changed dramatically.
Okay. Have we touched on what Darth Maul uses? Because he uses a weird one too.
Darth Maul.
Or are we getting there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
we'll
all
talk
the way
about
at
that.
the end.
Okay, we'll talk about that next.
Yeah. Form 5, I think.
Whatever, the next one.
Gem, it's another form created for dueling. But it's very heavy swings, not fencing at all. It's actually what Anakin uses.
Okay, what's this one? What's the difference between Ataru and Shien?
Ataru and Shien, instead of being fast and agile, Shien is very strong attacks.
So that
and holding
one,
your ground.
Shien, is basically the same as the one that Obi-Wan uses. It's a more defensive thing?
It's more aggressive.
Well, you just told me that it was... That one is aggressive. We're talking
They're
about
both
this
aggressive. These forms were formed at the same time to be more aggressive, but one is more jumping around, and the other one is holding your place and moving forward deliberately with heavy swings.
So
rather than
Ataru is the one that Ahsoka and Yoda use?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this one is the other one. Shien is what?
I don't know who.
Okay, no. Anakin uses gem,
which is
the gem,
which is probably similar to Shien, but it's made even more aggressively, and it was designed specifically for duels.
Cool. Do we see that in use at all?
Yeah, actually, Dooku compliments him on his form as it's the best he's seen that form used.
That's kind of cool.
And then he totally schools him by cutting his arm off. But
that's just Dooku for you.
That's Dooku.
What a dick.
You're gonna love the next one.
Am I gonna love the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Niman.
What? How do you... What?
It was a total...
Niman. 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 Niman.
It's a regression on things. The Jedi were like, all these previous forms are super aggressive, and that's very Sith. So we're going to make something that's just not that.
Ow.
So it was designed where you can use it with two blades, which... the two-blade form is known as Jarkai. That was a big point. I don't know why they put it in there, but I thought it was neat. And
that's what you're going to call me when I'm cooking.
Exactly.
I've got two tools. Jarkai. Chop chop. I don't often use two tools when I cook. But I'm just making stupid jokes, and I apologize.
Is a lot like the slow movements and fluidity, and
so closer to like Shaolin or Tai Chi,
like Tai
Wudon
Chi.
Tai Chi.
Yeah,
is it Wudon? I think whatever, but the Tai Chi with the sword.
Essentially.
So, do all of these basically have like? In all of your studies, did you find that... See, I'm getting a crash course as much as everybody else is, because I'm just like over here going, haha, they jump around a lot. I have the high ground, Anakin. That's basically... this is basically all... Oh, he told me about kyber crystals on the 4th, and I was like, the hell? Okay, we got to do a whole episode about that. So that's coming up, but not next week. Next week, I'm taking over.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be talking about Star Wars, or like lightsabers.
Don't worry, we're okay. Okay, so do they all have a basis in like actual real life martial arts? Like obviously there's the fencing kind. I mean, we're just telling you that there is a style that is based on more the samurai aikido, and then this one is evidently closer to Tai Chi.
Yeah, because these are all out of the brain of.
I mean, that kind of... so, because the Jedi were meant to be space samurai, right?
They're like, all this was inspired by...
Do we see anybody use the more slower... snake style?
I can't recall.
Oh.
Like, I've never been looking for...
I mean, doesn't Obi-Wan do that at one point? When he gets like his hand all up and he's got like the one-handed lightsaber? And he's got like...
I guess he does. And he would be taught in that form, but I don't think he used it all that often during the Clone Wars because
everybody in the Clone Wars was basically just deflecting blaster fire forever.
Yeah. Like, they had to fall back on forms that worked.
I mean, except somebody didn't. Sorry, I was pointing at my icon because it's Satine, and I actually don't remember if she got shot or stabbed or what. It's been a while. Anyway, and also Kit Fisto got shot too. Haha. Okay, so how many more do we have to go, or is that it?
We have one more.
One more.
The most difficult.
Oh, of course it is. You save the best for last.
Juyo. It's what Maul was taught. It's a very, very difficult.
So the stick. The big Donatello stick. The staff. But with lightsabers on
No, he
the
just
end.
uses a double-ended lightsaber.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what kind of lightsaber you use. It's the style that, like, it's how you move with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Where it takes the best of, like, the footwork of Makashi and the tight form of Shien and the fluidity of Nimin, but, like, teaching it, like, masters hated the idea of teaching it to someone who is really reckless, because it's a good way of getting yourself killed, because it requires almost opening yourself up in order to accomplish another move. And it lends itself very well to very interesting weapons, like a double-ended lightsaber.
What about the Jedi guards with their pikes? Would they have used the 7?
No. I cannot remember.
We went over this last night. Because then you talked about we talked about the pike training, the pike thing, and Chirrut.
Yeah.
And you didn't write it down?
I was writing down characters. Oh, man.
You have failed me for the last time. 2 episodes in, Matt. Your notes are garbage.
I didn't expect you to actually slap them on the ground.
I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, dude.
I can
and
tell.
And you failed me. You failed. You don't even remember what we were talking about with Chirrut and the pikes and the weird... Because, okay, so Chirrut used to be a Jedi Temple guard, so he would have learned how to use the pike thingy. But he doesn't have one. He just has a stick in Rogue One. Because he's no longer a Jedi. And we were talking about... I'm trying to jog your memory here. Do I have to push... Do I have to knock your notes over, like, because you're a nerd? Do I need to do it again? You literally can't remember.
It's blanking on me. I went through a lot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're almost at time anyway.
Yeah. Like, if people want to know a whole list of characters, like, we've touched on Ahsoka and Yoda and Dooku.
Oh, yeah. Tell me that thing about Yoda, how he's trained and what he does.
Well, he's, 900 years old? He knows every form.
That's cool. Why doesn't he use every form?
Well, like, he probably uses a bit of every form, but
he
probably likes Ataru because
he can jump around.
He's super fast and super agile.
So one of the things we were talking about... Okay, so one of the things we were talking about last night, before I knock your notes all over the place again, we were talking about how lightsaber training is based on passing down a very specific style. So so we get weird shit like the pikes and Darth Maul and Ahsoka. Oh, I said it right. I have to train myself out of saying Asuka. Ahsoka with her double blades, which is a thing, but none of them are identical. Like, compared to, for example, Avatar: The Last Airbender, where every form that we see, all of the Earthbenders move the same, but not every lightsaber user moves the same.
Yeah.
So, is it not the same kind of purity? Did you read anything about this? Because there's a note. I have a note here that says lightsaber training is based on passing down styles with homebrew to make it more comfortable for every user. So we get a bunch of weird shit like Darth Maul with a double-bladed lightsaber, which I think also was like meta-wise was just really cool to see in 1999 take on 2 Jedi and win. Like, that was rad. So that's just my note. I don't remember what we were talking about with that.
And reading, I didn't find anything to do with that. Like, they basically made it almost seem like there's these styles and you don't kind of deviate, even though it also said, like, Dooku trained Asajj Ventress in Makashi, even though she fights nothing like Dooku. She fights like Emperor Palpatine.
What style does Palpatine use?
Palpatine, according to the wiki, uses a weird form of Juyo and a weird form matched with Dunmok.
The Sith style.
Which is like super aggressive and super just all about just overwhelming. And like just watching the way they fight in the Clone Wars series, like when Ventress comes at someone, she's got her lightsabers to her side and slightly behind her. She's going in head first.
She does a stupid Naruto run.
Kind
but
of.
with lightsabers.
But when it comes to using...
You're not supposed to run with sharp things in your hand. And if you're going to run with scissors, you put them down. It's the safety first, Anakin.
When it comes to fighting with a blade weapon, going in head first with your weapon behind you... It's very, very silly. Unless you've got a form that actually backs it up.
So the Junyo?
Exactly. And
what is it? Did I say it right?
Juyo.
Juyo? No N in there. Okay, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, that's fair.
And when Palpatine takes on Darth Maul and his brother,
Spoiler alert, I haven't seen that. Okay, but anyway. Kai, it's like 10 years old. Oh my god.
He goes in the exact same way.
Huh.
Lightsaber, and he uses 2 lightsabers in that scene.
Why did he use 2 lightsabers in the movies?
Because he relied so heavily on his force powers, because why use a lightsaber when you can
I agree. That's how I played Knights of the Old Republic. Why use my lightsaber when I could electrocute people? I always played good side, but I always had lightning, because...
Exactly.
I would throw lightning immediately.
The way I interpret that kind of visual information is the fact that, like, maybe Darth Sidious trained Dooku in many forms, and Dooku just preferred his style and maybe taught Ventress in many forms, and she preferred Darth Sidious's style. And where, like, according to the Wikipedia, Darth Sidious and Mace Windu knew the same form. But Mace Windu obviously was the better fighter and overpowered Dooku.
I would also posit that Mace Windu might be the best Jedi.
Yeah, he was, like...
But we'll talk about that later, because
he was renowned for his swordsmanship.
That is fair. Well, I think we are over time, so unless you've got anything else that you want to add about lightsaber fighting tonight.
No, we could probably touch again a little bit if we talk about, like, different types of lightsabers. There's a lightsaber battle rifle. That's what I asked when I saw it, like, that face.
What?
Yeah, no, it's bizarre. but it's there.
Like, is it? So there's a
And
gun.
like
is it like a
literally,
lightsaber attached to a battle rifle,
like-
and you can
like-
hit like a bayonet?
like almost no, like it's a bolt action. Only you pull the bolt back, and instead of putting a bullet in, you just put your lightsaber in it, and it discharges massive. It like throws the energy beam of the lightsaber out of the gun. It's crazy, but it's there. Mind blown. Yeah.
That's a fun place to end this stream, I think. Why would you tell me something like that? Because now I just have questions.
Oh, I've got more questions.
Mostly how, and also why, and what the fuck, Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a discussion for another day. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
I hope I didn't bore everyone with the amount of excitement I have over lightsaber fighting styles.
I mean, this was cool. I did learn a whole lot of stuff, especially all the dumb names that they have.
I wanted to shy away from that and get into more of the actual, like, what I'm seeing on the screen, which is what most people are seeing on the screen, and touching on why they're doing it that way. But I guess
we'll talk about that next time, because I'm really you didn't put that in the notes. So next time. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we go?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Peachy keen.
Peachy keen. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you want to get more of our content, follow us here on Twitch, because we have programming almost every day of the week. You can follow on Twitter at OnComicsGround, and check out the website www.on-comics-ground.com. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back next Monday with some more aggressive negotiations. Have a great night, everybody.
A little bit aggressive today.
But we kept it pretty short.
Yeah.
We had one thing right, at least.
You only slapped my notes out once.
Only once. Anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and may the Force be with you.
See ya.